Center on the beautiful campus of Webb School of Knoxville. It's time for Lady Spartans basketball. You're watching Webb on the Web, the WOW Network, as we're bringing you Spartans Athletics Live. This is Peyton Gallagher to bring you play-by-play broadcast, along with my partners Jonathan Oates and Jack King, to bring you to provide color commentary and analysis as the Webb School Lady Spartans take on the Alcoa Lady Tees. This broadcast is sponsored by Duo Fast of Knoxville for all your nailing, stapling, and fastening needs, and the Shrimp Dock with the freshest seafood in town, yummy for the tummy, and streamed through www.wownetwork.org. We welcome you to the Shrimp Dock Side Court Show as we're about a minute 15 from tip-off. Now, the Alcoa Lady Tees have come in. They're a pretty deep team. They're pretty big compared to the Spartans, who lost a lot of size when Maddie McCoy went down earlier in the season. How do you think the Spartans rebound from that?
Well, I mean, they just got to keep up their running game because, you know, that's how they get most of their points, so they just need to keep that up.
Yes, that is indeed true. The Spartans are very good at getting out on the break, getting easy points.
In my opinion, you can lose one player, and as long as you keep the momentum going your way, you can still win a basketball game.
The Spartans were aided by the return of 8th grader Emily Wyrick, who was out earlier in the season with a knee injury, came back a little bit after the injury to Maddie McCoy. We're close to tip-off here. We're going to take you for the tunnels for Alcoa and Webb. Riley Hicks is starting at point guard
for Alcoa.
Katie Bean.
Starting at guard, number 15,
Number 15, Erica Anthony, the other guard.
Starting at post, number 3, Madison McClure.
Madison McClure at the 3. And Josie Thompson. That's the starting lineup for the Alcoa Lady Tees. Now for the Spartans. Coached by Coach Wade Mitchell.
Starting at guard, number 10, Sydney Collier.
Starting point guard, number 7, Sydney Collier.
Starting at forward, number 14, Emily Wyrick.
Number 14, Emily Wyrick.
Starting at center, number 22, Reagan Monday.
Reagan Monday at center, number 22.
Guard, number 11, Casey Collier.
Casey Collier, the sister of Sydney Collier, number 11, starting at the point guard position. Number 23, Courtney Carter, the other player in the Spartan starting lineup. Casey Collier has been the catalyst, if you will, for this team early on in the year, spurring them on with big shots, 3-point. She's got a 3-pointer in her game. The leading scorer for the team, and the best part of this, the best news for the Spartans is she's only a 6th grader.
Exactly. That means that she has a lot of years and maybe even a lot of improvement. But, of course, she's playing right now really excellent, so, you know.
Yeah, she can't be playing much better. Just the other night when we were broadcasting the game against Farragut, she hit 2 3-pointers with less than a minute remaining to tie the game, sending it into overtime. We're ready for tip-off. Courtney Carter will tip with number 42, Katie Bean. Alcoa gets the possession, number 5, Riley Hicks taking it up the court, trying to set the play. Taps it off to number 12, Kenzie Thompson. Back to Riley Hicks. Spartans locking him down right now. They can't seem to penetrate very well. The ball is nearly stolen away by number 10, Sydney Collier. Bounced out on a Lady T player, Spartans basketball. Casey Collier, the point guard, taking it up, gets it to Courtney Carter. Bounces it off down the sideline. Just too tall for number 10, Sydney Collier. Bounced off her fingertips and out of bounds. Alcoa basketball. First turnover for the Spartans. Either team turned it over in both of their first possessions.
That ought to be a major factor.
Turnovers can change the pace of a game. We mentioned earlier, Spartans like to get out on the break, play a fast style of basketball. That can only help that. Ball fed inside to number 42, Katie Bean. She goes up, misses, gets her own rebound, and the foul. She'll have shots from the line. Looks like they've got a pretty big size advantage in the Spartans. We said that a little bit earlier as well. Number 42, Katie Bean, and number 50, Erica Anthony, look to be at least 2 inches taller than any Spartan defenders.
You're right, Peyton. But, of course, even though they probably have more of a chance of getting a rebound and putting shots up, as long as you can be in the right spot at the right time, you can still rebound.
1 of 2 from the line is Katie Bean. She has her first points of the night. The first points as well for the Lady T's. Spartans looking to answer. Casey Collier passed it off to her sister, Sydney. That's a tongue twister. She bounces off the back of the glass out of bounds. Turnover number 2 for the Spartans.
Turnovers are going to be a major factor. Well, we can't say major yet, but they're going to be a factor in this game.
Ball off to Hicks. Hicks looking for a passing lane. She finds number 12, Kenzie Thompson, passes right back to her.
Alcoa seems to not pass it down low very much. They're definitely keeping it outside the three-point line currently.
Kenzie Thompson's shot got absolutely nothing. She got her own rebound, got the steal, and was tied up for a jump ball. It'll be Spartan basketball. Casey Collier passed it off to Monday. Monday's got an opportunity in transition. She's going to stop it, pass it off to Courtney Carter. Courtney Carter knocks it down. First points of the night for the Spartans. Scores 2-1, about 3 to 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And Hicks is taking it up, looking to answer. Gets a play in from her coach. She's going to drive, pass it off to number 3. That's Madison McClung. And Hicks drives inside. The ball is taken away, but a foul comes with that. That's Sydney Collier's first of the night.
Foul by number 10, Sydney Collier.
The play is set by Hicks. She will inbound it. Passes down, number 50, Anthony. Anthony can't hit her shot, gets her own rebound. There's a tie-up that'll be in favor of the Lady T's. Already, it seems early, they're scrapping around pretty hard. A jump ball for either team this early in the game is something to keep track of.
Again, my point being made, they're keeping it outside the three-point line, and the two people, as they call it in basketball, the 4 and 5 down low, can definitely score some points, and apparently they just don't want to pass it to them.
I feel like they're trying to get looks at Bean and Anthony. It's just tough because the Spartans are playing scrappy defense. Hicks drives inside, tries for the layup, gets fouled on her way to the basket.
And folks, we'd like to go ahead and, just a little off topic, but apologize if you're hearing a little buzzing in your ears. Us, the broadcasters, are hearing that too. So we wish we could do something about it, but we can't figure it out at the moment.
Hicks will go to the line for 2 shots. Knocks down the first one, nothing but net. And we'll have a sub. Sydney Collier will come out. Olivia DePonte will come in her place at the 3, I believe. Second one's up, no good. Bounced off the front of the rim. Couldn't rattle it home. Collier will get it dribbling up the court. The ball bounces out of bounds. Number 15, Olivia DePonte, lost it. Good defense by the Lady T's. Made her cough the ball up.
And as you can tell, in all youth games, the scores are not very high, and that may be because of shorter halves or quarters, but also the teams have much better, in youth basketball, they tend to have much better defenses than they do offenses. And you can definitely tell this. That's why games are so low scoring.
Speaking of that, though, Hicks got a wide open look there, just couldn't knock it down. Can't give her too many of those, and she'll get another one. Can't put that one in either. Collier will get the rebound, passes it down to Courtney Carter. They'll go right back to number 11, Casey Collier. Passes to Ponte, looking for an open look. Emily Wyrick can't get that for him. Open, Courtney Carter, she doesn't shoot. Casey Collier, open, money, knocks it down. Casey Collier wet from three-point land.
Like you were talking about earlier, Peyton, Casey Collier is we're probably going to see a lot of 3 points from her.
She's got quite a stroke and put it in the basket quite easily. Ball inbound, thrown up to Bean. Bean's gonna get it, throw it up, can't hit the shot. Jacoby will check in for number 22, Reagan Monday at center. Casey Collier, the leading scorer on the year, has 3 points already, and she finds Emily Wyrick, who passes off inside to Jacoby. Jacoby lost the ball, ends up in the hands of Hicks. Hicks has a fast break opportunity, trying to use her speed to get to the basket.
That's
puts
an
it up
one.
and one.
And I've noticed on the Alcoa defense, they're very good at getting the Spartans to draw a foul. So, and that fouls can definitely make a difference in a game.
Well, excuse me, folks. It seems that the charge has been taken by the Spartans. Great defensive play. It'll be Spartans' ball. It's the second turnover of the night for the Lady T's. Courtney Carter will inbound. The ball inbounded to Wyrick. Wyrick take it up for herself. Double team in the backcourt. Pass it off to Carter. Carter throws to Jacoby. Right back to Wyrick. Wyrick puts it up. Traveled with it before she could get the shot off. Easy mistake to make early in the game. That comes with getting settled in. Makes those shots a lot easier as you get warmed up.
I don't blame her for traveling. Either number 42, Katie Bean, or Erica Anthony, number 50, the two big Alcoa players were in her way, and there was no way she was be able to make that shot, so she had to travel there.
It's hard to get a shot up when the defender's got a foot on you. DePonte dribbling, passes it right off to Collier. Back to DePonte. Collier to Jacoby. Wyrick pops the second three of the night for the Spartans. Can't hit. Jacoby would get the offensive rebound. Collier pops it. Can't hit. Looks like there's a little bit of contact at the top of the key. We got 40 seconds left. Alcoa Lady T's ball. Off-balance shot thrown up there by number 12, Kenzie Thompson. She hits it. Scores 4-5. 30 seconds left. It'll be the last possession for the Spartans. And they're going to try and get it to their scoring machine, Casey Collier. Collier's got it back at the top of the key. Pass it off to an open Emily Wyrick. She doesn't shoot, pops it back off. Top of the key, they'll reset it. Collier.
Looks like they're trying to keep it to the buzzer of the first period.
That's part of good coaching by Wade Mitchell. Smart to get the last shot, not give him another opportunity to score. As Wyrick can't hit the shot, time will expire before the Lady T's can throw up a shot. The score is 5-4 at the end of the first quarter. Low scoring, but it really has been a very fast-paced game.
It has. There's been a lot of great defense, and, well, there's just a lot to expect.
Casey Collier started off hot, leading all scorers with 3 points. Hicks, the leading scorer for the Lady T's.
You're right, Peyton, and but I think that unless Alcoa can get this improved, it's going to come and bite them in the back that they're not passing it down low. I may be a little bit, sensitive to that because I did play a 5 on basketball, but I really think that that's how you can get the most points.
It seems that I think I might be wrong. It looks like they're trying to wear him down a little bit with speed. Hicks seems to have some good jets on her. Try and get to the basket a little bit, wear him down inside, and then pass it off to Bean late in the game.
You may be right, Peyton.
We're going to get set for the second quarter, bring that to you next. Spartans will come out with Courtney Carter, DePonte, Jacoby, Collier, and Wyrick. Collier and Wyrick didn't sit down the entire first half along with Carter. Do you think that could affect and ring true in the game the fatigue factor.
That could definitely ring in that because, I mean, they're not machines, so they need to rest.
As Collier pops another three, 2 of 2 from downtown. Knocks it down, 6 points of the night. She's getting hot early here.
Collier is definitely going to be a factor in this game.
Spartans trying to stick with them. The ball is intercepted by Jacoby. Jacoby pass it off to the point guard. Collier. He's got DePonte open. DePonte can't hit. Spartans are 2 of 4 from downtown. Pretty good mark, 50% at the beginning of the game. Most teams only shoot around 30.
You're right, Peyton. And the Alcoa defense is definitely going to have to adjust for this, as they're not used to many three-pointers being taken in middle school basketball.
It'll be Alcoa Ladies Tees basketball. Number 12, Kenzie Thompson will inbound for the Lady Tees. Well, they're going to rule in the favor of the Spartans. It's going to end up Spartan basketball. After some discussion between the two referees, it bounced out on an Alcoa Lady T offensive player. Collier passes off, finds DePonte. Collier's open again if she wants it. Doesn't take it. Grace Christian's checked into the game for the Spartans. Collier passes off DePonte. DePonte mishandles the ball. Gets her own ball, gets the ball right back. Grace Christian passes off to Collier. Ball shot by Courtney Carter. She can't hit. They're going to call a jump in favor of Alcoa. Looks like there's an Alcoa player down. That is number 12, the starting 3, Kenzie Thompson. Slowly gets up, Kenzie. Looks to be favoring that leg a little bit, limping off. She'll be replaced by number 23, Abby Hitson.
4 minutes and 28 seconds left in the quarter, or the half, rather.
Spartans expanding their lead a little bit. It's 8-4. Not quite the high-scoring, fast-breaking game that we were expecting, but still a good game nonetheless.
Riley Hicks has had the ball a lot today. Eventually they're going to have to take her out, though. She's been playing the entire game as far as I can tell.
Hicks went up, got bumped, but a travel was called before that. Number 21, Anna Grace Kirkland, will check in for the Spartans. And Courtney Carter will sit out. Casey Collier finds Brooke Christian. Brooke Christian off to Jacoby. Good pass by Christian. Foul called. Jacoby will go to the line for 2 shots. Spartans trying to get into that breaking rhythm that they're so used to. Drove right down the court, set up the fast break beautifully. Jacoby can't get the first one to rattle home. Score still is 8-4, about 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Barely clipped the rim on the second one, couldn't get it to follow. There's a jump ball. Anna Grace Kirkland made a great hustle play to fight for that ball, get the ball right back for the Spartans.
Apparently the Spartans are showing that they can, handle the height and the size of Alcoa Lady Tees.
Collier flashed open for a second there. Good defense by number 20 for Alcoa. Sierra Horde closed on her, played some good defense, and shut down the three-point opportunity. The Alcoa Lady Tees will rip the ball away. They're dribbling back up the court. Hicks, again, handling the ball for the Lady Tees. Hicks may have stepped on the line there. She may have been pushed as well. It will remain on this side of the court. Number 20, Horde, is going to have the ball, but it's going to be plucked away by DePonte. DePonte, fast break opportunity, knocks it down. Her first points of the night. Scores 10-4. Clock ticking down in the second half. About 3 minutes remaining.
It seems like the Spartans are trying to get their fast break game on.
By my count, that's about 5 fast break points they've got out of it so far, and 2 free throw opportunities. Missed chance by Jacoby, but I'm sure she'll capitalize in the future. Ball worked down in the Anthony went up strong with it, and it's stolen right back. Number 23, Abby Hitson, closing the gap real quick. 4 quick points. The ball is nearly stolen away again. It'll remain on this side of the floor. Lucky bounce for Brooke Christian. Nearly went out on her fingers.
And may I point out, not to brag or anything, but the last 2 points were scored down low by a 4 and a 5.
Collier will check out of the game for the first time. Emily Wyrick is yet to take a seat. Wyrick gets it out to Brooke Christian, another one of those 6th grade sensations they've got. She'll be around for a while, probably in the starting role next year as she squares up, doesn't take the shot, passes back to Wyrick. This time she will take it. Just couldn't get the ball to fall for her, took a bad bounce. Spartans will retain possession and give it right back. Lady Tornadoes. Maybe looking to burn some clock here with only 1:40 remaining. Opportunity to take the lead or tie it.
Score 8-10.
And we've seen a lot of fouls down here on this end of the court where Alcoa is shooting for. There have been fouls against both teams, like travels and slaps and stuff, but we've seen a lot more fouls on this side of the court than the Spartan side, although, honestly, the ball's been down here more.
Anthony.
That just shows.
Got it. Traveled before she could get the shot away. Jonathan, you were going to say something.
That just shows Spartans playing aggressive defense.
Couldn't agree with you more. Fighting for the basketball with it, scrapping with a 2-point lead. As Wyrick will take it right to the basket. Great shot defense by Anthony. Forced Wyrick to adjust her shot in midair. Sydney Collier, that's sort of her MO. She is really good at going to the floor and fighting for the ball. With 1:24 remaining, that's something that's really important, is to sort of slow the pace of the game down as it will remain in the hands of Alcoa with a tie-up in favor of them.
I don't know if y'all can tell, but Hicks takes up the ball slower and slower each time, so eventually they're going to have to give her a rest. Of course, she can at halftime.
Sydney Collier on the break. Mishandles the ball, bounced out a little bit too far in front of her. She'll find DePonte. Trying to get some ball motion set up. Courtney Carter's open, thinks about the shot, pulls it back in. DePonte pump fakes. Number 22 in green, Reagan Monday, wasn't looking for the pass, but bounced right off her hands.
Hicks is going to take that one down.
Hicks, quick drive, punched it right inside, just lost the ball, lost control of it. Collier's going to be open, thought about the shot, drove inside, can't hit. Foul called on the Spartans. Casey Collier looks to check back in.
And
she'll take the spot of DePonte.
A lot of times you'll think your team's got the momentum going your way near the end of a half or the game, and then you have a stupid foul and the other team ends up, this one wasn't for shots, but the other team ends up tying the game or even getting ahead as we only have 12 and a half seconds to go.
That might come back to bite Lady T's. With 12 seconds left, they could have milked the clock down and gotten the last shot. Instead, it'll go back to the Spartans. Opportunity to expand the lead to possibly 5 before the half. Clock ticks down under 10. Casey Collier handles it. Wyrick pulls up. Face-up jumper. Not enough. Courtney Carter. Ball scrums down. Reagan
And
Monday loses the
buzzer.
ball. We'll go to half. The score 10-8. Scruffy half played by both teams. Fighting for the ball. The score is 10-8, as I mentioned earlier. Not really reflective of the style they've been playing, just the ball's been going back and forth. Not many points have come out of it.
You're right, Peyton, and very aggressive defenses on both sides. The Spartans are ahead by 2, but this is going to be a very close game to the finish. I can't wait to see the next half basketball.
Alcoa's really hanging with their own on this hostile floor for them. Really challenging the Spartans here early. That 4-point swing with a steal and the bucket by Anthony, and then the steal and the score really changed things around. It looks like the Spartans were going to capture some momentum, sort of dissipated.
Well, I mean, momentum's going to be important. And the Spartans just, need to keep their heads up. They need to keep playing aggressive defense, and they need to keep their fast breaks up.
You're right.
On that note, we are going to leave you guys. We'll bring you back for the second half. This has been a presentation of the WOW Network.
If you want to pass and run like the Spartans, then pass up the fast food and run into the shrimp docks, serving lunch daily from 11 to 3. With stores in Bearden and Farragut, you get your choice of the fish, oyster, or the famous shrimp po' boys. Also, grab some scallops, crab legs, lobster, oysters, shrimp, and the only fresh fish in K-Town to take home for dinner. So stay warm in the winter with Captain Paul's chowders and bisques, stay healthy and lower cholesterol with fresh fish, and enjoy at the shrimp dock.
Welcome back, basketball fans. We are bringing you the second half of a game between the Alcoa Lady Tees and the Spartan Webb Lady Spartans, excuse me. Casey Collier leading all scorers, shooting 100%. She's got 6 points. Can't do much better than that.
No, you really can't. I mean, coaches love to have players like that.
Now, I've talked to a few coaches in my day, and they don't really focus on shooting in practice as much as they do fundamental, setting good screens, playing enthusiastically, and working on passing skills.
You're right, Peyton, and those are important, but today the Webb Lady Spartans are 0 for 0 on their easy free throws, and the Alcoa Lady Tees are only 1 for 4.
And
not 0 for 0, they're 0 for 4.
Free throws are called free throws for a reason. If you don't capitalize on those easy points, they could come back to bite you. Collier drives inside, good baseline pass, finds the Courtney Carter. She can't hit, get her own miss. I believe that's Collier's first miss of the night. They'll get the rebound. Courtney Carter will finish. Those second chance points can really dampen the mood of the Alcoa defense.
You're right, Peyton. It's all about momentum. The first score in the half or quarter is definitely a momentum swinger.
Like I was saying earlier, size is really affecting because down there at the basket, you know, a lot of shots were blocked purely because the Spartans just aren't tall enough.
And it looks like we've got a different point guard this time.
No,
Kenzie Thompson.
Hicks will stay in at the point. There's a tie-up. It'll be Alcoa ball. Sydney Collier playing that scrappy defense we talked about earlier. Got in there, got her hands on the ball, nearly ripped it away. It'll go for a jump ball, and Alcoa will maintain possession. We'll see number 12, Kenzie Thompson, in for the first time, though. She went out earlier with an injury, favoring that leg a little bit. She's come back, played pretty strong. Throughout the minutes she was on the floor, she'll play the second half, it seems.
You're right, Peyton, and she's pretty big, too. We'll see how that plays out.
Foul on the Spartans. 2 shots. Let's see if they can capitalize here in the second half. First one knocked down.
I believe that was by Madison McClurg.
Indeed it was. The Spartans lead back to 3. She'll hit the second. Big thing here that they might be able to get some momentum and some traction getting to the free throw line. Free throws are very important. Casey Collier will find Wyrick. Ball to her sister Sydney Collier, right back to her. Casey Collier's been playing a pretty good game, well-rounded game. Made some good passes, knocked down 2 really important shots. Up till really early in the third quarter, she was perfect.
Well, you know that a player is pretty good whenever they've got half of the team's points. So she's got 6 of the Spartans' 12 off of 2 3-pointers.
Wyrick a little bit frustrated there. I believe they called her for a charge. Felt that she got fouled instead. Hicks taking the ball back up for the Lady T. She's played all 12 minutes up to this point.
Like you were saying
along
before,
with the beginning of the third quarter. You were going to say something, Jonathan.
like you were saying before, Hicks has been dribbling down the court ever so slowly each time she gets it.
First turnover of the game for Casey Collier. She's not starting the half very well. Look to pick it up going in. Beautiful finish by Hicks. Timeout called by Wade Mitchell. Went in with the Euro step. Went right over a Spartan defender. Laid it up and in. Tied the score up at 12 all. What an exciting play out of Hicks. Look at that burst.
You're right, Peyton. And it was at the beginning, after one score in the third period, it was 12-8, and the Alcoa has already rebounded back. So Coach Mitchell definitely needed to take that time out.
This is definitely going to be a low-scoring, very close game, if not both teams tie.
Well, we have seen some spurts of great offensive play here early in the third quarter. We got about 3:29 remaining. The score is tied at 12 all.
We have 3 minutes, 29 seconds left in the quarter.
It'll be Spartan ball underneath the basket. Really important for them to get some traction here early, maybe get some points out of this timeout. Wade Mitchell had the opportunity to set a play. I believe he did.
You're right, Peyton. And just not only just setting the play, but just taking a little rest and getting to get back all of your think straight and all. It definitely helps whenever you're losing your momentum.
DePonte rushed into an early pass by the great defense by the Lady T's. They'll get the turnover. Pass inside the Bean. She can't hit. Gets her own miss. They're going to wave it off. A foul on Bean. They're going to call it a push. Ball nearly picked off by Hicks there in the backcourt. Sydney Collier will get it, pass it off to her sister. 2-on-3 opportunity for the Spartans. Collier will pull up. Nothing. DePonte will get the ball, can't put it back up and in. She's struggling a little bit here early. Open shot by number 3. McClurg thought about it for a second. Threw a pass in the Bean, just a little bit too tall for her. She couldn't get her hands to it. Rolled out of bounds. Turnover for the Lady T's. Spartans basketball. Courtney Carter, nice bounce pass. Right back to her from DePonte. Playing DePonte and Carter seem to have a connection here early. They've had a few really good passes to each other.
You're right, Peyton. And this quarter, not as a lot more aggressive. The defenses for this entire game have been very aggressive, but even more aggressive defenses this quarter than I think I've seen in any of the quarters.
Being underneath the basket, had an open shot, capitalized, Lady T's pull ahead for the first time in the game. Wyrick dribbles down the floor, passes to DePonte. DePonte struggles, continue, bounces off her fingers, rolls out of bounds.
Score 14-12 now. Alcoa ahead. And Lady Spartans haven't scored anything, I don't believe, since the beginning of this quarter. There's 2:12 left to go.
Brooke Christian checks in for DePonte, and she'll immediately try to make an effect. Can't hit the three-pointer. Seems like two Spartan players collided trying to save that ball in. That's a problem with bad communication. That's something that coaches really emphasize at the middle school level, is communicating with each other, making sure everybody knows what you're going to do when you're on the court.
You're right, Peyton, and communicating is a really big deal. Playing on a basketball team and not talking to your teammates and just assuming they all know what to do is just not the right way to go.
Proved catastrophic for the Spartans. Lost the ball again. They've had quite a few turnovers here early. Speaking of turnovers, looked like it bounced out on Alcoa offensive player. It went off Wyrick. And they've got the lead and opportunity to expand it here with about a minute 30 till the fourth quarter.
Like you were saying earlier, Jack, this has been a very aggressive defensive game. We've seen a lot of great defense, but there have been also a lot of great offensive plays.
McClurg went up with a shot. Great defense by Wyrick. Big thing in the middle school level also is if you get up off your feet, they can call a blocking foul. If you're stationary and throw your hands up, they're going to call a charge every time. She went up and did that and made sure the shot didn't go down for the Lady T's.
You're right, Peyton. I wish I could see the refs get it right like that in the NBA and in college because they've always got their calls right here in terms of charge and blocks.
That and they never call traveling, I've noticed in the NBA. Like,
Right.
they'll take 3 or 4 steps to get to the basket, dunk it down, and it's like, what are you thinking?
A minute 13 to go. Score 14-12 still.
Alcoa, again, trying to expand that lead. Pump fake by number 3, McClurg. She'll drive inside and will be fouled.
Even after this aggressive quarter, that's only 3 fouls against the Spartans and 2 against Alcoa. Of course, 7 for the bonus, 1 and 1 for every foul. But this has been a very aggressive quarter with little fouls called, so they are keeping the game very clean.
It makes me wonder how long this possession is going to last. It's been the 3rd straight inbound play for the Lady Tornadoes, and that can come with a little bit of that fatigue that we were talking about earlier. As number 12, Kenzie Thompson, hits a clutch shot, rattled it home. Spartans really need to get a basket here, or else they could risk letting this game get out of hand. Now, let me mention, this has been a 7-2 run from the beginning of the 3rd quarter, so Alcoa seems to capture the momentum coming out half.
You're right, Peyton. And again, the Lady Spartans only scored 1 and that was at the very beginning of this quarter, probably just above the 7-minute mark. So they definitely are going to have to get their momentum back. They're only down by 4, but their momentum is way down as Alcoa has already doubled their score from the entire first half.
Hicks corrals it. Maybe they're going to try and run some clock off with only 20 seconds left. Ball thrown in. Bean gets it stripped away. Wyrick out on the break. Wyrick looking to push it. Nearly loses it. A foul called on Hicks.
17.1 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
They still got time. They can run a play, get open.
Or Collier could do one of her famous three-point shots.
That's what I was thinking about. Maybe they could try and free up Collier with a screen or a pick and roll, give her an opportunity to shoot the basketball with 10 seconds left. I think that would be a smart plan for the Spartans. Brooke
5
Christian's
seconds.
open.
4.
She's going to throw a shot up. 2 seconds left. Are they going to call a foul on that? I don't think so. It'll be Lady Tornadoes' ball.
That was out of bounds in the Spartans there with 2.3 seconds. Oh, no. They're going to call it on Alcoa. They're reversing their call, so the Spartans have the ball now.
Looks like they may have gotten a finger to it. They're going to have to throw up a shot pretty quick here.
2.3 seconds remaining.
Casey Collier open. She's going to throw it up. Can't hit.
Buzzer goes off.
I mean, that's what can you do there? She didn't really have time to do much else. The score is 16-12 heading into the 4th quarter. Dominant quarter played by Alcoa. I'm sure Wade Mitchell will look to correct that going into the 4th.
You're right, Peyton. They've already doubled their score, and the Spartans only scored 2 this quarter. They're definitely looks like both teams are strategizing right now, but the Spartans are very worried.
Low-scoring game. I mean, we haven't seen much points from either team, whereas unlike other games, the Spartans would be at 30 and even 40 by now.
Remember to stay tuned, folks. This is their first game of a doubleheader. Next up, we have the Webb boys A team taking on the CAK Warriors.
That also seems like an interesting game, and hopefully we'll get just as close of a game as we have right now here with only a 4-point difference.
Now, this brings me to the point of, with all the speculation the last few weeks of seeing this game is pretty close, what happens with, for example, the Villanova game the other night when they beat Syracuse at Villanova.
My dad was mad about that.
Do you foul there with seconds remaining? Do you foul instead of letting him shoot the three-pointer? And Marshall Henderson hit it against Vanderbilt as well. I mean, that's a shot that it seems to be going down a lot more often in the game now.
As we see the beginning of the final quarter, ball.
I've never been into fouling at the end of the game. I know sometimes you have to do it, but I've really just never been into it. I've never thought it works very much.
Wyrick cash for the 3. Brings Spartan within 1. Clutch shot from Wyrick. Big time.
That's 3 3-pointers from the Spartans, so 9 of their 15 points from that.
Spartans down by 2. I
No.
mean, sorry, 1.
Shooting again around 50% for the game, really lighting it up from downtown. Game real close, tight, and the ball will go out on number 3, McClurg. Big opportunity for the Spartans. You'd think they'd try and capitalize here. Pump fake by Collier. Collier will shoot. Air ball, it can't hit. She hasn't been able to hit one all night. All night, all half. Wyrick squares up, second shot. Bounces off the dead spot on the rim. She'll get her own miss back. DePonte open. Courtney Carter was calling for the ball. We got an open Collier at the top of the key. Good ball movement by the Spartans. Wyrick passes to DePonte. DePonte open, pump fakes. They're going to call it travel. Looked like she had her pivot foot slide on the court. The court's a little bit dusty. That could play into that. Timeout called by Wade Mitchell, a little bit frustrated. I don't blame them. They let a lead evaporate, but it looks like they're clawing their way back with Emily Wyrick hitting that clutch 3 moments ago.
You're right, Peyton. Only down by 1. They only scored 5 points, however, in the third quarter, so they're definitely going to have to find a way to get their momentum back. This is just a very close game. I'm sure this will come down to the very end.
Score 16-15, 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game.
Alcoa really needs to get some points up here, expand their lead, make it a 1. It's still going to be a 1-score game if they get a 2, but if they get a 3, that makes it a lot harder on the Spartans to come back in the game. Just thinking back to the first half, that 4-point swing with a steal after the points and the capitalization by the Lady T's, that could really come back and affect it as Bean goes on the pick and roll. They won't pass to her. The shot is missed by Hicks. Collier looking for a pass. Can't find it. They'll set up the offense on the other end instead of trying to capitalize on a break possession. Collier throws to DePonte. DePonte back inside. Collier's open if she wants a shot. She's not going to take it. She'll get an open shot this time. Downtown, long 3, can't hit. The ball nearly picked away by Collier. Collier's gone ice cold here in the second half.
And now we have Hicks calling the play, and we had some of the people down low moving up.
They will set the offense. Only 3 minutes remaining as Bean hits a shot. She's got 6 points. That size advantage is really helping her.
Spartans now down by 3 points, 3:25 to go.
Wyrick can't finish the pretty play. She got inside, just couldn't finish the layup. Alcoa really is captured the momentum in the second half. I said it many times. Scores 18-15. They got a chance to expand their lead. Spartans will have to pull a miracle with 3 minutes left.
You're right, Peyton. This quarter seems to be moving a lot faster than the last one, as we're already halfway done with only 3 minutes to go in the entire game.
They're going to call a foul. Number 12, Kenzie Thompson's been big in the second half. Seems like you're saying that about all the Alcoa players.
Well,
right.
I mean, Alcoa is just playing good. Well, they're just playing good as a team and as a unit, I guess.
Kenzie Thompson just barely missed that first one, went off the dead spot. 50-50 chance at that point, couldn't hit it. Reagan Monday will check in. Jacoby checks out.
As far as I know, I may be wrong, but I think we only saw Monday at the beginning of the game. So she's coming back in.
She hasn't played a lot of minutes after starting the game at center, but she has played big minutes for the Spartans, getting a few rebounds and making some good defensive plays.
Like you were
Collier.
saying earlier, Peyton, the Spartans are going to have to pull off a miracle to even tie this game.
And Anthony will fall on it. It'll roll out of bounds. Collier saves by that. She lost the ball nearly once, then it just rolled out on her pass, and she couldn't corral it.
Spartan fans hoping for 2 of Collier's famous threes to put them ahead.
Speaking of threes, DePonte throws one up, can't hit. And number 3, McClure will take it up. Excuse me, that's Hicks. Hicks dribbling up the court. Hicks throws to Kenzie Thompson. Can't hit. Rebound Bean. They're going to call a foul on the Spartans. Spartans, 2 bad defensive possessions. They've given up foul shots either time. Bean can really put them in a good position to win the game. Up 3. No, excuse me, 4 already.
You're right, Peyton. And if they if she puts it at 5 or 6, that makes it 3 2-pointers away.
Still a 2-possession game. Spartans, we know, are very good from beyond the arc. But they're really going to need to get points on this possession with only 2 minutes remaining. As Bean hits a clutch free throw, her 7th points of the night, she passes Collier for the leading scorer.
Again, the Spartans not having the momentum going their way at all this half. I think they've only scored 5 this half, 10 last half.
Speaking of that, fast break opportunity thrown away by the Spartans, bounced off a defender, and they're going to call a kickball violation on one of the Spartans.
Scored 2015, Spartans down by 5, 1 minute, 56 seconds left in this game.
Now, again, this whole 3-point thing is coming up. I was talking about it earlier in the broadcast. What happens is the Spartans, say, hit a 2, and nearly all the time, whenever a team hits a buzzer-beating 3, they end up winning in overtime. As Wyrick's got an open opportunity, hits it. Big clutch points for Wyrick. She's got 5 here in the second half. Really big for the Spartans. They're down 3. It's almost looking like it's destined to happen. With this little time remaining, do you foul in the situation of you're down 3 with the ball on the last possession?
I would say below 30 seconds, maybe. We're at 1:35 right now, so I wouldn't worry about that at the moment.
Seems like the Spartans are trying to pull off that miracle that we were talking about earlier.
Well, Wyrick certainly aiding that, got inside, laid it up and in for the easy deuce, brings them within a 3 in a 1-possession game.
You're right, Peyton. And y'all were talking about the possibility of a buzzer beater 3. I think there's a buzzer beater 3. I'll pay for popsicles for everybody on the team.
It's not the first time they've done it, though. If they were to succeed and get that shot, they did it again earlier in the year against Farragut, lost in overtime, and that's the game Maddie McCoy went down with the injury that's ended her season. She was the starting center and the second leading scorer behind Collier. Really big loss. She's a 6th grader as well, though. They'll get her back next year and the year after that.
You're right, Peyton. And, of course, these 6th graders definitely help build the program. You can't have a team without players from all grade levels. You can't just make your A team all 8th graders, or else it's just not a genuinely good team necessarily. There are 7th, 6th graders that are much better than some of the 8th graders, so you have to have mixed talent, and more playing time for these players means that they'll have a better future.
This 6th grade class has had a lot of good things said about them. They're living up to the hype this year with Brooke Christian, McCoy, and Collier all having really big seasons for the Spartans.
And we're below 1 minute now with 57 seconds to go.
Spartans playing very, very rugged defense. Timeout called by the Lady T's with only 52 seconds remaining. Spartans aren't giving up, that's for sure. I mean, low-scoring game, but hey, you never know. They could put up a 3. They could get 2 baskets. Very easy for them to accomplish that with 50 seconds remaining.
If they do put up a 3, then Jack will be in debt about
12 popsicles. Of course, Alcoa here, if they score one shot that could put the game out of reach. Very aggressive defenses on both teams. As we've seen, though, shots don't tend to go up and make it. So if the Spartans can keep their aggressive defense up, as you can tell, they're out of breath. But if they can keep their aggressive defense up, then I think they'll be able to hold them and get the opportunity at a shot.
Well, I mean, like you were saying with the aggressive defense, each teams have had to fight for their points.
Game winding down. We could see overtime again. The first game of a doubleheader. Boys A team will take on arch rival CAK from right down the street.
That ought to be an interesting game, as we have 52.3 to go in this game, 20-17. Alcoa with they just had the ball, but now they don't.
They've got 20. Steal.
Spartans have 17.
Wyrick back to DePonte. Finds Carter. Wyrick open! Puts up a three! Off the front iron, rebounded by the Spartans. They're going to say it bounced out on an Alcoa defender. 35 seconds remaining. Spartans playing some clutch basketball. Timeout. Smart one by Wade Mitchell.
You're right, Peyton. And I don't know. I think at this point they might have to go for three, but it's possible that they could even try and go for two
in the foul.
Okay. Or that.
35.5 seconds left in the game. The score is still 20-17.
It'll be interesting to see what lineup he'll go with. Probably a three-point shooting lineup. The best shooters on the team will be on the court. But you never know. He could put in a defensive set to make sure they don't get points right before right before the end of the game. Put it out of reach.
You're right, Peyton. And I believe the Spartans have the ball right now. And we see Coach Mitchell over here drawing up a play. And, this is probably so nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking for Spartan fans. Nerve-wracking, of course, for Alcoa fans. And, of course, very nerve-wracking for the teams. Because whenever a game is this close with less than a minute to go, you really never know what can happen.
Definitely. Again, the Richardson-VCU game is a good example of that as well. Or the Butler-Gonzaga game earlier in the year. They thought it was over. Butler stole the inbounds pass, went right down the court, hit that shot. Ball inbounded to Wyrick. Wyrick dribbling inside. Maybe looking for the two and get fouled. It's off the mark. They're going to have to foul. Jump ball. Great play by Sydney Collier. It'll be Alcoa basketball, but it gives the Spartans a chance. Stops the clock, makes them inbound it.
Of course, Alcoa is just going to try and hold on to the ball.
Smart timeout taken by Kenzie Thompson. Nearly exceeded the 5 seconds allotted for her to make the inbounds pass and turned it right back over to the Spartans. It's a very smart play by a middle schooler.
That's right, Peyton. And in youth basketball, you generally don't see the kids taking a timeout, so that was a very smart call by her.
Again, Kenzie Thompson's been very clutch here late in the game, putting in 5 big points for him, and that smart play saved him possibly a turnover. Now, what do you do if you're Coach Wade Mitchell? You tell your players to foul, you tell them to go for the steal, or do you tell them to just try and wait it out and see if they can get a possession back?
Well, I mean, this must be a pretty difficult position for the coach.
Well, intentional fouling at this point would not really do them any good because they've only got 5 fouls against them. So unless it was actually a shot foul, there wouldn't be any shots, and then Alcoa just get to inbound it, which, of course, I mean, they could steal it from the inbound, but generally you want to be able to rebound off a foul shot.
Exactly. Now, Spartans are going to come out and play aggressive defense, but if they get the ball inbounded to, it looks like Hicks, who nearly lost it, they're going to play aggressive, try and steal the ball. Clock ticking down under 20, nearly, and they're going to call a foul on, I believe that is Sydney Collier. Now, again, that gives them another opportunity to maybe force a turnover on the 5-second violation or get a steal on the inbounds play. It's a lot easier to get a steal on the inbounds than on an actual play on the court. Inbounded. It'll be number 3, McClurg. It looks like the Spartans. She stepped on the line! Very big mistake for Alcoa. Interesting call. Spartans played good defense. Forced her out of bounds. I thought there was going to be a foul called. The Alcoa bench is not happy. 20 seconds left. The Spartans will have a chance.
This could be exactly the thing that the Spartans need.
Collier
Collier
pulls
for
up.
three. That was a very long three, and it's going to be out. 11.9 seconds to go. This one would definitely take a miracle. If they can tie it up at least here, I'm still getting them a co-pop.
Quoting Sweet Brown. Foul immediately by Sydney Collier. Didn't burn any time off the clock, maybe 0.2 seconds. I believe they'll call that for free throws.
1-and-1s.
Now, we talked about how free throws can make a big difference in this game. We're really going to see what she can do from the line here. Determines the game at this point.
That's right. One shot made is the game. Of course, a lot of pressure going through her. A lot of pressure going through everybody in here. We'll just have to see how this plays out. At this point, there's no analyst that can tell you what's going to happen.
Just a reminder, 11.5 seconds left in this game. Very close game.
And it looks like they're having a little confusion over substitute. No, they're just having confusion. Never mind.
Missed on the first end of the 1-and-1. Clutch rebound by Anthony. They're going to foul her. She'll have shots. Maybe a chance to redeem her teammate who missed the clutch free throw.
Again, 8.7 seconds, even though it doesn't see very much. It's plenty enough for the Spartans to rebound the ball and take it back down the court. So, of course, the Lady T is very worried about that.
Now you see Grace Christian slowly backing down to the three-point line on the opposing team as the shot is missed by Anthony. Oh, so close. It bounced off Wyrick. Goodness gracious, Spartans are not playing very good defense here. That should have been an easy rebound and timeout by Coach Wade Mitchell.
Throws it in.
5 seconds remaining. Stolen. 2 seconds. Shot was blocked partially by number 3. That was Madison McClurg. May have saved her team the game. Wyrick forced up the shot, just couldn't get it there after the block.
As we see the handshakes here, this is a great game. As one amazing analyst, Jack King, can be quoted, this game's going to be tough to the finish. And it definitely was. 20-17, the final score with a buzzer-beating shot that did not make it, sadly, for the Spartans. But this was a great game. A rematch could go either way.
Final score was 20-17.
Somewhat of an upset, some would say, because the Spartans had only lost one game on their home floor this season, and that was in double overtime to a great Farragut squad.
You're right, Peyton, and this was just an amazing game. I really don't know what to say, but these two teams played great, and of course the Spartans not happy with this, but if they had had a rematch, it could go either way.
Okay, this has been a presentation by the WOW Network. We're going to bring you back. Tune in for the second half of our doubleheader. Webb Spartans boys will be taking on CAK Warriors, and this game is up. We'll see you again in about 10 minutes.